Hello and welcome to TCF NFL Pick Show Week 6.
Week 6, baby.
We're on to Week 6 here. What did I say I was? I am
You went
13,
1-5
21, and 2 now. I went 1-6.
We're
1-5, right?
We're approaching Fade Big Z's time.
Was it 1-6? Because with the over under pick, I was 1-6.
Yeah, 1-6.
So yeah, not a good week for me overall. Anything, I didn't win a bet at all this weekend, I don't think. But we're moving on to Week 6. It's a fresh slate. Even though technically I want to know with our picks and you're 0-1.
Yep.
We didn't get them in, but I did have a wager on the Patriots in a way. So even though the one I had lost because I had a -10 first half and they don't know how to play in the first half, I guess I don't get it. But the Twitter, I am Zach Lilia, and above me it says @ZLilia LILJATCF. You can follow me on Twitter where all my sorrows are, where I cry about all my bad picks. I give out my picks. You can fade them if you want. On the main page is @typical_Chicago. From the sideline, like I said, here we go. @sideline with the 1 as the first I sports. Sideline, first I in it is a 1 sports.
Not confusing at all?
No, not confusing at all. And then Facebook, we do a Facebook live show between weekdays, Tuesdays through Thursday. We do one show. We don't do a show Tuesdays through Thursdays at 8 o'clock. It would be kind of cool if we did, though, if we had the time to do that. Yeah. But we did one to Friday because this is a Friday. We're recording this on a Friday. Like I said, the Thursday games are over. Thursday night game is over. But yeah, like I said, go on there. We also put our podcast on there. And also we put our podcast on From the Sideline on Facebook and our blogs and everything. We do videos. Go on there. And Instagram, Typical Chicago Fans, and From the Sideline.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter @BoomyTCF. All of our podcasts are on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, rate, and review there. If you're not on Apple Podcasts, you can find us on Spotify. Make sure to follow the podcast on that app as well. And head on over to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, hit that red subscribe button to catch all the content that we have, and we'll be coming out here soon. But let's get into it. I went 4-3 last week. I'm sitting at 17-19. I distanced myself just a little bit from you, but I got to keep going. I am already down to 1-0 this week. I took the Giants last night, 17.5. My rationale for that being very simple. I thought that 17.5 was just a weird number to cover on a Thursday night. I obviously know that New England is a better football team than the Giants, but I just expected more on a weird Thursday night. New England kind of coming off another. I mean, I know they just keep blowing teams out, but the Giants are starting to build something. I think a little bit with Daniel Jones. That's why I took him plus 17.5, and it just didn't work out. I think we lost by 20, so 21. We were a touchdown away.
It was a weird game in the first half. There were spots where it kind of looked like maybe they were going to stay in the game. The Giants were
for sure.
But yes, I did take the Patriots. Let's see if I can get that here. The Patriots. I think it was like minus 17.5. This Patriots team, their schedule has been pretty easy at the beginning of the year. Yeah. They're not a first half team apparently. They're a big second half team, which I should maybe figure that out.
But as soon as you start betting against them in the first half,
go in the second half. So yeah, Patriots Giants Thursday night game is in the books. Not really a close game at all. No. Maybe a little bit in the first half. Boomy, who's your first Sunday noon game?
This might be my easiest pick of the weekend. I think that Philly is going to go into Minnesota. I think they're going to win the game outright. They're getting 3 points. Kirk Cousins is going to – he might do it because it's not a primetime game. But I think the Eagles are a good football team. They've already shown they can go into one team in the NFC North in Green Bay and pull out a win. And I just think they're starting to hit stride a little bit right now after a little bit of a rocky start for those Eagles. So give me the Eagles plus 3. I'm even going to sprinkle a little on that money line there with them getting the points as well. What about your first noon game there, Big Z?
This team has hurt me. It's really hurt me. I like the Seahawks beating the Browns. They're minus 1.5 on the road in Cleveland. Yeah. I like it a lot. I don't like the Browns. I don't think their offense is really clicking right now. They don't really seem like there's a lot of chemistry there. So I'm liking the Seahawks.
The only thing that worries me on that is this, and we talked about this a little bit on our live show we just did earlier, is that the do or die factor for the Browns here. If they lose, they drop to 2-4.
Yes.
And coming in with people, I mean, there was people putting money on them to participate in the Super Bowl. I think they know that it's now or never. It's do or die. So I think you're going to see the best effort out of the Browns.
I understand what you mean, but
the Seahawks
that doesn't
are
mean it's
damn
good.
good
They can
football
put
team.
a great effort into it. They could be playing really. They could try to play well, but that doesn't mean they're going
Sure.
to. And they haven't proven it throughout the year. So I like the Seahawks going into Cleveland. Who's your second pick there, Boomy?
Give me the Chiefs -4.5. The Chiefs, an embarrassing loss on Monday night or Sunday night football. I can't remember. I think it was Monday night. No, it was Sunday night. They get a little embarrassed there on Monday night. You're going to see them bounce back. I think they're going to be a really solid football team this weekend. Houston on the road scares me. That's why I couldn't go with them +4. They just blew the doors off of Atlanta, which I'm not saying is the toughest thing in the world to do. But giving Kansas City, they only got to cover 4 at home. I think you're going to see a resurgency from those Chiefs this week. They get to play in Arrowhead. It's not going to be an easy task for the Texans to go on the road and beat Deshaun to beat the Chiefs.
Jeez Louise. I like the Jaguars. They got the Saints coming into Jacksonville. -2.5. I like it a lot.
Now, do you feel like that is a lot because you feel like the Teddy Bridgewater Magic's got to run out
Something's got to give. I think that the Jacksonville's got something going a little bit there. In Jacksonville,
they're also coming off of a kind of an ugly loss. Not really a super ugly loss, but I mean they've been rolling. You kind of expected them to be able to handle Carolina. In my mind, they were one of my picks last week, but they weren't able to cover that. I think you're going to see a good bounce back from those Jaguars. I like that pick.
Yeah, I like Gardner Minshew. What do you think about when Nick Foles does come back? What's going to happen? You think they're going to keep Gardner in there? What do you think's going to happen?
No, I think you're going to see him go back to Foles. If Gardner Minshew was in his second or third year, you'd see him maybe stick it out. But you're starting to see last week they only scored 21 points. The offense didn't look great. I think you're going to see him go back to Nick Foles just because they paid him all that money. You got to be able to test him out and see what he's got, because if not, then what'd you give him the money for?
I guess we'll see when it comes time, but I like Gardner a lot. Let's get into the Sunday 3 o'clock games, the afternoon games. Boomy, who is your pick for the 3 o'clock game?
I take that back about my Philly pick earlier. This was my easiest pick of the week. The Cowboys will blow the doors off of the Jets. Now, if that line moves down to 7, if you buy the point down to 6.5, I just have this gut feeling that Dallas got embarrassed at home by my Packers. They played a nice little half of a third quarter in the beginning of the fourth to claw back in it. They still lose by 10 at home after the playoff hopes they had after the first 3 weeks. They lose kind of a fluky game down in New Orleans. They get housed at home by the Packers. I can't even, gun to my head, tell you who the Jets quarterback is right now. They will blow the doors off of the New York Jets.
I like the 49ers to go 5-0, go into LA +3. I like this 49er team a lot, and I think there's something going on with this Rams team. I'm not liking it. I know it was only a 1-point game against the Seahawks, but they lost to the Buccaneers at home, who are a much worse team than the 49ers.
And I'll put my bias aside. The Rams are about my second favorite team in the NFL. Now, the only thing that worries me in that, because I had looked at this as well, I really like what the 49ers are doing. They looked really good on Monday night.
I just don't really like what the Rams are looking like right now.
I just don't foresee. The Rams know their situation right now. If they lose this game, that means San Francisco goes to 5-0 in the conference. And assuming that Seattle takes care of Cleveland, that puts them at 5-1. That puts San Francisco at 5-0. That would put the Rams at 3-3. You're looking at a long shot there. I think you're going to see a good one out of the Rams. I'm going to stay away from that game personally, but I don't hate your pick at all.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I don't.
49ers are a good football team, man. They are showing it right now. There's a reason they're undefeated.
I don't trust that Rams team. Sunday night, we have come together to make a pick.
This is an easy one.
The Chargers. I tried making a reason to maybe go against you, but there's nothing that Pittsburgh team is just not good.
They're down
on
their third-string
quarterback,
man.
I think the Chargers are going to go in. I think they're going to roll. What is that again? 7? I think it's 7.
Is at 7 points
at LA, right?
Yes,
so I love that a lot.
I think that no, I had it at 6.5.
Either way, that number that's too nice. I think the Chargers are a good team and should win by multiple touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. Delvin Hodges is going to start for the
I've actually heard
Steelers.
that he's a big PMT guy, so
played at Samford, not Stanford. Samford.
So we'll see, but yeah, I like the Chargers. I think the Chargers act good. I think that number is kind of rude, actually.
I agree
for the Chargers, but we got Sunday night game.
You're going to take
Monday night game.
You never. I mean, I've bet. I've put a couple. I've had the Bears a couple times. You will never ever bet on the Packers.
No, I honestly, yes, you have the Packers. Yep. I had the Lions. I think that the Lions can keep it close. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm not saying that the Lions are going to win the game, but I do think that they can keep it close and maybe keep it to a field goal.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not even really going against the Packers. I think that the 4 is kind of weird.
Yeah, if it was like a 2.5,
maybe a 3, 2.5, maybe I would look at the Packers. But 4 is a lot. They can lose by a field goal and still cover.
And anything in an NFC North game, a conference game like this, and we talked about this on the other show.
Cold.
This is also the best Detroit Lions team
could be
we've
snowing
seen in our life since what was it Barry Sanders retired.
Yeah, I think Matthew Stafford's got this team going. They got a good defense, so I think that this is going to be a tight one. Like you said, really and truthfully, I do sometimes go against the Packers for that reason, but really I do have at least a
you did last week.
Well, yeah,
you did last week, and that's
fine. But I do think the Lions will. You looked at it too. Dallas is supposed to be a good team.
Yep, you're right.
So, let's move on to our over/under bet of the week. Boomy, what's your
mine? Kind of ties in with my noon game. I'm going to take the over in the Eagles-Vikings game. I think you're going to see a similar game to what they played in Green Bay, where you're going to see scoring in the upper 20s, low 30s from each team, and the over is only at 44. I love that over. This will be the first over I take of the year. I've been hammering unders, and I went 2 and 3 so far. I'm going to take this over. Give me Philly and Minnesota and the over. They're going to be in the Dome. You're not going to have to worry about the crappy Minnesota weather in early October. This is going to be a fun football game that I see being a little bit of a shootout.
This came back to bite me last week. I'm taking Kansas City, Houston, over 55.
Oh, that's never going to hit.
But I think that these are two defenses that could definitely give up a lot of points.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know. It's hard to tell right now because like last week you take Kansas City in the over and they give up 19. Granted, the offense only scored 13, but at any given time you feel like they could easily give up 30, 32.
Yeah, and I feel like these two offenses could get going. So I like I said, who knows? But I have a good feeling that there's going to be quite a bit of points in that game.
The numbers on the over-unders this week are really,
high.
Really – I don't even know if I'd say high. They're very sharp. Like, all the games I looked at, I'm like, this looks exactly like the number I would expect
Vegas
in this
is
game.
getting comfortable this week.
I mean, week 6, they've had 5 weeks to work on. They've been seeing what's going on. I think the numbers are very, very sharp. So, yeah, I haven't been crazy on a lot of over-unders, so we'll kind of see how that shakes out here in Week 6.
Well, thank you for watching TCF NFL Pick Show Week 6. I had a bad week last week, 1 and 5. Hopefully we can get back on track here with some good picks for the people. I just need good picks in general. So if you got a pick for me, I'll take anything. I don't have to catch. Sorry, we're watching Virginia, Miami. We got one person here has some money on the game.
Yep.
Close game. But thank you for watching. I am Zach Lilia, and like it says above me, my Twitter handle is @ZLilja, LILJATCF. The main page is @typical_Chicago. So, from the sideline is @sideline. The first I in sideline is a 1. Sport. Type in from the sideline. I think you'll find it that way. Facebook. We do a Facebook live show between Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8. It's weekdays with TCF. Our podcasts are on there. All of our videos are on there. And then From the Sideline, all of our videos are on there. Podcasts, like you said, on there. Anything that we really put on the site goes on there. And Instagram, we do some ping pong. Maybe we'll be doing some Instagram live ping pong. We always put that on our story. We always have our videos from our intro on there and a little link to the podcast. And then From the Sideline on Instagram.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. All the podcasts are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Head on over to the YouTube page and check everything out. I mean, we got weekly videos. We've got the podcast videos. We've got all the other stupid stuff we've done and a lot more coming at you soon. So
a lot more coming at you on YouTube. We're trying to get more into. I'm trying to get some more video out there, just some more stuff. The worst part is about it is the exporting takes so long. I wish it would just be like right away.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching. Hopefully we win you some money. If you got to fade me, I'll take an
You're
L
bound for a good week.
I'll take an L for you to get a dub. So that's how nice of a guy I am. Hope you guys all win some money this weekend. Let's roll. Let's have some money. We love you all.
Peace. Go Gators.
This is an NFL show. Go Tigers.